Welcome back to the channel. We are Danny and Donna, and we are forever dreaming. On this adventure, we're in Charleston, South Carolina. Danny and I are meeting my son Isaiah, and we're headed downtown. We're going to take you along to the city market for some shopping, grab lunch at Henry's famous jazz club, take in the sights at Riverfront Park, and for you history buffs, you'll really enjoy our tour of the Old Exchange and Provost Dungeon. Stick around for a one-of-a-kind adventure to downtown Charleston.
Okay, we're at the city market in Charleston, South Carolina. It's a rainy, gloomy day, and keep up, we're going to take you shopping.
So the vendor here was telling me about these pictures. These are on aluminum, and they actually look lit up because there's some lights on them, but if you had them in a regular lit room, they would reflect the light, and the aluminum makes the color shine up more vibrantly. This is a picture of the angel oak tree that my son Neil and I and Danny went to see last year. It was really cool. We had a video on that. You could check it out if you want. We are at the Christmas shop, and they have an upside down Christmas tree. I have never seen anything like that before. And they have a bunch of pineapples on it.
Are those technically upside down pineapples?
I don't know. We've been looking at these wind chimes. They're very expensive, but they sound unlike any other wind chime.
Oh, pretty, huh?
Does the fish make a noise?
That's kind of cool, I like that.
There's another fish over here, a marlin.
Man, those are pretty, huh? Let's see how much.
$290. And they have horse-drawn carriage rides here in Charleston as well, with the tour guide giving you some of the history. There's lots of art stores in the city market. Here's another gallery of artwork for sale. Beautiful paintings. This is some more metal art. All very beautiful. The 3D one is really cool. Some very talented artist here. This is the angel oak in 3D, which is really cool. 100 things to do in Charleston before you die. Lots of vendors selling jewelry. One of the vendors at the city market suggested Henry's for lunch, so we took his advice and headed there.
Here's the menu.
What'd you think of lunch, hon?
I thought it was really good.
Yeah, what'd you have?
It was
The
like a
chopped
Philly
cheese.
cheesesteak sandwich
Yeah.
with Parmesan fries.
This building is really cool looking. Got brick walls and a bar in the middle of it.
A lot of historic stuff over there on the side where like who's played and all that.
Yeah. We're here for lunch and missed out on the live music that they have at night. They have bands starting, I think, at 9:30.
Parking's at a premium here. Because we have a disabled vet tag, you don't have to pay for metered parking down here in Charleston. We happen to get lucky and we got a spot right on the road, right where we need to go towards the pier and the pineapple fountain.
And the rainbow row of houses
Is right there.
is right behind us. There's Isaiah. These rainbow row houses are very popular in Charleston. They have t-shirts and all kinds of tourist things with the rainbow houses on them. This is the Charleston Harbor view from the waterfront park. Across the harbor is an aircraft carrier.
CV-10, the USS Yorktown is in Charleston Bay. I think it's a museum and you can go over there and take a tour, but that is a very, very famous aircraft carrier from World War II. So we're at the waterfront park, and originally we learned today is that this area all in here is fill dirt and silting from the harbor. So originally this would all have been original docks for where the ships were moored, and the water went all the way up there. About 3 blocks was the original shoreline for the bay here. So this would have all been basically been walking on water right now because there have been nothing but ships moored right in here.
We made it to the pineapple fountain. This sign is for the fountain. There's no lifeguard on duty. Wade at your own risk. Mine says no solo wading, so I guess people get in the fountain to wade.
Pineapples are a prominent symbol of hospitality and welcome in Charleston, South Carolina, stemming from its history as a major port city. Sailors returning from a long voyage would impale a pineapple on their fence post as a signal to neighbors that they had returned and were inviting them to visit.
Here's another fountain down the way from the pineapple fountain, and it's summertime, so kids, wow, they're all gone now. A couple minutes ago there was like 6 children in there playing. I'm not getting in there, but it looks like fun for kids in the summertime. The U.S. Coast Guard boat is going out, and there's a sailboat. You hear that banging in the background. They're putting pylons, concrete pylons in the water.
Is that a video selfie?
Yes, it's a video selfie. I can't make it any smaller because I don't have to.
Yo, peoples, what's up? Charleston!
We found an empty swing that we're able to sit on and enjoy for a few minutes.
Oh, no.
Nice temperature, nice breeze.
Keep the camera off of him. He don't count.
Oh, stop that.
It's just us.
Stop that.
What's up?
Hey, this face will get you views.
So today, our story begins in the year 1670 when a ship named the Carolina sailed up the Ashley River to a place about 5 miles off the map called Albemarle Point. Today, it is known as Charlestown Landing. Now, the original goal of the settlers was always to move from that place over to this harbor right here. So about 10 years later, in the year 1680, they had completely made the jump and started building up the city they called Charlestown, after Charles II of England. Now, right off the bat, Charlestown had a few threats that it had to deal with, some being foreign invasion from places like St. Augustine, Florida, the Spanish, or the French up in Quebec, Canada. They had hostile Native American tribes and even pirates, as they decided to build a wall around the city, and that would have made Charlestown one of fewer than 10 walled cities on the North American continent. He managed to team up with Blackbeard, and the two of them essentially held the city of Charlestown hostage. So the reason that pirates were attracted to a place like this was because Charlestown grew to be extremely wealthy. In fact, South Carolina was wealthier than the other 12 colonies combined. 9 of the 10 wealthiest men lived either in Charlestown or in the surrounding plantations. Soon, as we are going to take our tour into the dungeon. It was extremely busy here, and we would have had upwards of 200 to 300 ships a day coming in to have their merchants buy, sell, trade goods on the top 2 floors. You might remember that the Half Moon Battery was protruding into the water, which means at one point the Cooper River would have been flowing right here. So me and anybody else who is on this bridge would in fact be swimming. So what is it doing so far away from the shore? The answer is that Charleston is about 57% landfill, and that is essentially what happened from here all the way over to the shore. We're second only to Boston, I believe, which is about 60% landfill, so we're even catching up to them a little bit. It is also the reason that you cannot have a basement in Charleston, because you dig down about 6 feet and you are going to find yourself ankle deep in naturally occurring groundwater. We are going to continue our story deeper into the dungeon. We're going to go through this wooden archway. If anybody watches the Netflix show Outer Banks, they were the ones who put this up because they filmed part of an episode here last summer. The reason that they decided to put all of that gunpowder in this building is William Moultrie figured that the British were probably going to use this building as their headquarters. So the British came in, they occupied this building as their headquarters for 2.5 years. So when the Patriots came back in, they checked on their gunpowder to find that all 7 tons of it was still hidden just as they had left it. Now going back, the British come in, they do take the city, and they enact what is called martial law. That essentially means that the military is running the show. It also meant that they could throw you in jail for really any reason. You didn't need a trial, you didn't need evidence, all you truly needed was an accusation. That caused the city jails to fill up extremely quickly, and they needed a place for some of that overflow. And where they decided to house those people would be down here in the cellar. All the room that the prisoners down here would have been this rather small area right here. In all reality, they had 40 to 50, even 60 people in here at one time. And the conditions of this dungeon, or provost, which is basically a fancy word for a military dungeon, grew to be absolutely horrible. Prisoners would be living in almost complete darkness the majority of the time. Newspapers as far north as Philadelphia were reporting on the Dungeon of Charleston, and they were comparing the Dungeon of Charleston to medieval Europe and how terrible the dungeon conditions were there. After the war, the U.S. Constitution was ratified here, which makes us one of 3 buildings still standing from the 13 original buildings. The other 2 are going to be the Old State House in Annapolis, Maryland, and then Independence Hall in Philadelphia. Because of all of that history, this building has become known as Independence Hall of South Carolina.
This is a model of the Confederate state ship, the Palmetto State. Danny said it's called a monitor because it was one of the very first ships that was all metal.
Constitution of the United States, baby. Do you know why John Hancock's the biggest signature on the Declaration?
No, I don't.
It's because the king at the time had to wear glasses to read, and he wanted his name to stand out so the king didn't have to wear glasses.
Cool. What are you doing?
Using my safe cracking skills to open this form. You'd freak out if I did it, didn't you?
I would freak out if you did it.